Alright, fellas, welcome back to a trade recap video. I took another L today. I'm not gonna lie. Um, it was a really rough L today. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of the reasons. Actually, we're just gonna save it. We're just gonna hop into the chart. Right. So on the 4-hour time frame, right? I seen that we were in a premium here, but on the 4-hour as well, before market opened, I seen that we came below, swept at these lows, and then we continued higher, right? We could kind of show that just a little bit further here. Um, Taking out these lows and then continuing to rally higher here. Um, and then on the 1-hour time frame, right? So along with this liquidity sweep, I also saw that we tapped into 1-hour equilibrium. This was making me want to look for longs, right? Making me pretty bullish, right? So, and then once market opened, or like 15 minutes before market opened, we actually broke structure to the upside, confirming my bearish bias, or confirming my bullish bias a little bit more. Um, right, and then we could also show that I marked out this 15-minute fair value gap here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I actually had this up here before price came back down in, right? So this was original, the fair value gap, and then you could see on the 5-minute time frame that price started to come down in here. It filled basically almost half of this fair value gap, and then came up, and we started to respect it. So to me, this was looking pretty bullish, right? And I saw that, if we can come back down in here, since we've already tapped into our high time frame liquidity, um, and then we can get a confirmation back to the upside, um, I'll be really interested in going long here, right? I see that we're getting the retrace, and then on the 1-minute time frame, I see that we came back down, then we broke structure to the upside here. I entered, but here's the problem, right? I took this trade for two reasons. One, because I don't know why, but today I really felt like I mean I do know why. It's because I let fucking my buddy fucking get in my head and get my emotions all riled up, and I let that affect me, and I felt like I had something to prove in this trade, right? So even though I didn't, because I know and I've proved to myself that I can accurately predict price action. Um, so I let it get to my head, right? So I felt like I had something to prove, right? So that's one reason why I took this trade today. Another reason I took a bad trade today was because you can see this was at 7:58. Right? If we go into Forex Factory, news dropped at 8, right? So this was literally 2 minutes before news dropped, right? So I should have waited till news dropped, and you know what? I know that I should have waited till news. I've literally this is probably my first time trading before news. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and I ended up getting stopped out because of it, because news came out bearish, and I ended up getting stopped out. Um, but came back down, hit our stop loss, filled in this 1 minute for value gap, which I did originally have marked out, and I was gonna use as a confluence. Um, but like I said, today I felt like I had something to prove. So um, the buddy that in particular that gives me shit, he uses the 15-minute time frame. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use the 15-minute time frame and prove that I'm a better trader than him. I ended up taking a loss because of it. I use the 15-minute time frame, but I don't use it like religiously like that. Like I generally kind of try to like to use the 5 and the 1 minute time frame. For me, it just works a lot better. Um, and then I'll use like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the 30-minute as like my higher time frame confluences. Right? I hardly touch the 15-minute, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So I originally had this marked out, but I was like, no, it's higher time frame, higher power, right? So once I saw that we were breaking structure here, once again, I should have waited till news dropped. But yeah, like once news dropped, came out bearish, hit my stop loss, filled in, completely disrespected this for value gap. It disrespected this for value gap, but we did end up reacting off of it. And I mean, if you technically want to consider this a 1 minute order block, it also reacted off of that, right? But you know what? Like, or I mean, order block, breaker block, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, there's really no excuses for me taking a bad trade today. Like I didn't follow my rules. I let my emotions get to me. And you know, I ended up taking a shitty trade because of it. I ended up taking an L. So I mean, I really have no excuses, and I'm honestly kind of glad I lost this trade because if I would have won this trade, it would have inflated my ego, and it would have made me think I'm something that I'm not. So I'm kind of glad that I took an L today, you know, and we'll come back um, tomorrow, and hopefully we could find some good trades. Tomorrow we got some news at 6:30, just a red candle, or red folder news at 6:30, and then I don't really bother too much with these orange folders. They affect the market, but not as much as the red folders. But you know what? We're gonna come back tomorrow with a way better mindset, way better headspace, and we're gonna follow our rules this time. We're not gonna try to feel like we have something to prove. We're not gonna do any of this shit. Um, I mean, I just I got put in a really really bad headspace today, and it was my own damn fault for letting it affect me. You know, nobody else's. So I mean, I'm not gonna blame him because um, it's not his fault at the end of the day. It's my own for being a grown ass man and not being able to control my emotions. And you know what? It's a learning lesson. So gonna come back tomorrow. Come back with some more knowledge because 2 L's in a row. Um, I would like to say I did kind of learn from yesterday in the fact that high time frame I seen we dip down to this equilibrium. And I didn't trade counter trend. But you know what? Now tomorrow I need to learn from this lesson of not letting my emotions get to me and not feeling like I have something to prove. And most importantly, don't trade before news. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like and I'll see you tomorrow.